Uh, Let me first introduce you, Hasmik, to everyone. That she started with a teaching, and she was a teacher, and then now she's a young entrepreneur and managing both companies, Step Beyond Borders and Edubuild. So it's great to have you sharing your experience that would be helping the young generation, the young entrepreneurs to take their career further and excel in their career, especially those who are really interested in doing in the edtech domain. So many young entrepreneurs and interns were there who wanted to create their company in future, and it would be a great experience for them to learn from you.
Okay, that's really nice to hear. I'm really happy to be here as a guest. I believe that this will be a mutually beneficial discussion because I love meeting new people. I love connecting the dots. So
Okay.
it's especially if it is beyond borders. So that's something unique, and I'm really thankful and I highly appreciate this invitation.
Thank you so much. Let's start with the first thing, that what exactly is Step Beyond Borders? So with the name we know, but can you explain this? What is this? How it is happening? How it's being excelling every corner?
Generally in India, the concept of travel is very clear to everyone. Everyone loves traveling within the country or outside the country. And whenever someone says travel, they generally imagine a company which is a travel agent. Now, in our case, we are breaking this stereotype, and we are not a travel agent. We are a social enterprise. Step Beyond Borders is a social enterprise which is actually connecting various people from abroad with Indian culture, allowing them to step beyond the real borders, which at this moment is possible even virtual, and to understand and to feel the culture of India, not just traveling, but interacting and being part of the country.
Okay.
This initiative is not just for India, it's also for Nepal and Armenia. I am from Armenia, so this is one of the countries which I love to promote. But again, the reality is very similar, like to India. People know about tourism, but they don't know about experiential travel. So in my case, my company, Step Beyond Borders, is focused in experiential travel. So what we do, we find motivated and interested young people who in fact want to do something meaningful, not just come and do a typical touristic trip in Armenia or in Nepal, in India, but to do something meaningful, which will be a career growth for them, as well as a travel opportunity. So travel is just an excuse. In fact, people who join us, they come for various projects. They come or they undertake the project online now due to the pandemic. So we offer various programs, and most of them are educational. So this is experiential education that we offer to people from abroad. Those programs are volunteering abroad, internship abroad, language abroad, cultural exchange, and much more, study tours, workshops, etc. So for our company, our life is divided before pandemic and after pandemic. So before the coronavirus, people used to travel, they used to visit us, and they used to undertake projects, which means that most of the day they used to work, either in social sector, or they used to learn a language. So their day was partially busy with something related to India or Nepal or Armenia, whatever local people would do. The way like you go to your office. So our interns would go to an office and they would feel the Indian traffic, how auto rickshaw people just wave their hands to go left or right. So some reality of the country, which a simple traveler can never feel. And now after pandemic, our life is virtual. So we are equipped with all the technology to enhance the opportunities for foreigners to connect with India, Armenia, and Nepal, so that they can learn as well as give back to whatever workplace they are associated with. So it could be an NGO, it could be a business, it could be any workplace. So basically, we give career opportunities to people combined with traveling. So that is about Step Beyond Borders.
Yeah, that's excellent. Means like you can travel and learn. So this is something. This is
You should
something very good.
learn so that you travel.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So that's good to know about like a step beyond borders, and it's doing good, and we also hope that it will be keep doing good, right?
Yeah.
So the second thing is like, what is Edubuild?
So my experience with internship and education overall, and experience of young people, youth, is something which actually is an asset for me. So I really value these skills. And last year, one of Jaipur-based startups, which was yet newly developing, Edubuild, they approached me, and they offered me this concept that because I already work with international interns, why not to bring some value into the Indian market?
Mm-hmm.
So I said yes, because I'm really excited to be a benefit to the country which I live in,
Mm-hmm.
India. So from then onwards, we started developing the concept of not just internships, but experiences.
Okay.
EduBuild is an EdTech. We are focused on providing live opportunities through projects to young students and graduates. Because the reality is, if you see the statistics in India, there are a lot of graduate people. They're bright students, they graduate, BTech, it could be computer science. But with the statistics, unfortunately, 40% of the students having degree, they don't get a job, or
Mm-hmm.
try to do something on their own, but they at the end they fail. Because very often what happens, they get the academic education, but the skills which are required for the market are lacking. And this is why EduBuild decided to come up with experience program, which provides live experience
Mm-hmm.
through projects to interns. Uh, Specifically at this moment, it's all virtual, so that people can access it from any part of India, and they can undergo specific trainings, soft skills trainings, which are part of the program that we have. And afterwards, they work on various problems that companies come up with, and the students solve those problems. So basically, this is a wonderful edtech company, which is hitting two targets. We're solving various problems of MSME sector. A lot of medium and small enterprises, they have technology challenges, and they don't know how to solve them
Mm-hmm.
because they don't have the task force. They can go for freelancers, they can have their own team, but sometimes they don't have enough funds for that. So they approach us. They say that they have this kind of a problem, and if that problem is realistic to be solved, then we target it and we solve it through the task force and through the knowledge of our interns and the mentors that we have. So we have industry mentors to guide the interns so that the final product is of good quality.
That's really good to know that like beyond borders also you're doing good, and in border you are also doing good. So helping. So it's very good to know that every initiative you are taking is to support the, especially if you talk about MSME, the small business owners, and this is really fact that if we talk about the MSME and small owners and we interact with them, they hardly are aware of the latest technologies, tools, freelancers, and at the end of the day they might feel that they are not justified or they are not getting the value they should have received. So it's good that you're helping them out through Edubuild. That's very good to know. So coming back to the like again this question on this domain, that you can see that there are so many edtechs right now into the market, and most of them have been unicorn as well during the last past year. But still being a unicorn, still the feedback which is being received over the social media is not so good. If we talk about the latest brands which are like associated with the Indian cricket team as well, but at the ground level, people are approaching on the social media, the value has not been provided to them. They sometimes feel cheated. They sometimes feel that the program was is not for them. The education quality is there. So what exactly are the issues, and what issues like the Adobe can solve it out?
At the edtech industry in general, when we talk about startup, is a very unique industry.
Okay.
It's not the same like any other startup industry, which could be just core IT. The reason being is that the clients, the target audience of EdTech are very different with their needs.
Yeah.
Every individual has different learning capacity, has different performance capacity, due to which a lot of EdTech companies have actually not paid attention to this point that, people are different, the learning methods are different, teaching methods are different. They have mostly focused on the wonders that the technology can make. And this unification is a big challenge for EdTech. So one of the things that Edubuild is trying to overcome as an obstacle is the unified approach to everyone.
Okay.
In Edubuild, we in fact don't focus on the traditional learning, which is virtual lessons, just having one-on-one sessions or group activities or pre-recorded sessions. We don't focus on this. We focus on life skills. Those are the skills that one can gain only during work.
Right.
That is only on-job, hands-on training. So we're not providing the academic lectures on soft skills. No, we do the activities and people on their own realize, oh, this is that skill that I needed to use. Oh, this is the communication skill which I lack. This is one of the things. Second thing that we have noticed is that besides having technical knowledge for the industry, EdTech industry, a lot of clients, they face challenge of soft skills. This is the reason why we, in fact, include soft skills as part of our full program. Any person undergoing Edubuild programs, experiences, they actually learn a lot about soft skills, because India is very advanced if you just look internationally in terms of IT. If you think about India, even from Sebian borders, if I ask my participants, what comes to your mind when you think about India first, they think about IT first. It has a very strong IT and NASA. All IT people are in NASA. It's really funny, but the interesting thing is that yes, IT people are very strong, but they do lack the soft skills. Soft skills are those basic skills which in fact are important for even any single freelancer, a person who is even working as a freelancer. It's highly important to them. And besides this, because I said that EdTech industry is very unique, so it needs to have unified approach. What Edubuild is doing is focusing on a very enhanced skill assessment for every domain that we have within our experiences. So imagine a person, a student who is who is doing data science, for example. He or she thinks that the knowledge that they have from the university is good enough. However, what happens, the reality is the moment they start working, usually, this is what we received from the industry as feedback, the expectations of employers don't meet, because the employers expect the staff to already come ready to work, ready for industry challenges. So what we do nowadays, we are developing very psychologically and technologically and educationally enhanced skill assessments, which will in fact allow us to do a correct matchmaking between our projects and between our students who are taking part in the experiences. So this will actually allow us to target big masses of students, because students numbers in India are huge, and even if you check any projects posted online, there are hundreds of students applying for the project. But for companies, it's really tough to find the correct person.
Right.
Even in your wonderful startup, the project that you have, Flexi Workie, I'm sure if you analyze your competitors, you will see that a lot of people post various projects. But even for me, if I post something on international portals for IT projects, I have so much tough time to choose the correct person. I am in EdTech, and I always say that in being a COO, I'm not the tech person. I'm the ed person. I'm the education person. But the task of finding the correct tech person is also one of my tasks. And imagine a person being non-technically professional. It's very difficult using this kind of platform. So that is why at this moment, as an experience platform for students, we are coming up with the skill assessments, which will be an easy tool to use. And it will be also motivation for the students to understand in real with the industry projects, what are their skills?
Right.
Theory, everyone knows. Theory, online, everyone can even cheat.
Right.
But what about the realistic problems? How they can solve issues which they can come across during the work?
Yeah.
So yeah, these are the challenges in EdTech industry. As mentioned, the general one is unification, because a lot of EdTech companies just unify. They make one product for everyone, while everyone is different. For education, for clothes, we could have M standard, S standard, L standard, but that's not for education. So it's very different.
Right. So you correctly said that when you are working on a live project, then only you will get to know more about the project as well, because the theoretical knowledge, as you rightly said, we can do through like books, through like YouTube channels and all. That is available everywhere. But at the ground level, that's where means like real exam is there. I will share one technology example, like what happened with one of the student is like he learned about Magento 1 through YouTube. But when he joined a company, he didn't know that like Magento has been acquired by Adobe and Magento 1 is no more. It's like Magento 2 on board. And he was doing the training at that time when it was already not there, because it was in the books or in the videos. So sometimes you have to like really work on the live projects, and you have to be like available on the real internship. So and this is a case study which I just recently saw a few weeks back. So yeah, I agree with that.
Give you another interesting example. This is an example which our CEO and CTO, Mr. Saksham and Mr. Samir, they constantly bring.
Okay.
We had a group for a project to create a platform for a company. So we got bright students with highest marks. And all of them were wonderful individual workers. But the reality is that they needed to work as a team. And no one of them knew how to collaborate on GitHub. No one. And they could do this project on their own. They individually could do this. But the interesting thing is when it came to teamwork, working on a specific, I don't know, coding style, using the same method, they failed. So they needed another training to be trained and to work as a team. So these are like small things which actually show that, yeah, there are a lot of empty spots that we need to fill. There are a lot of gaps to be filled.
Right, right. One question I'd like to pick from the audience, like they wanted to know the tips on like how they can enhance their soft skills.
Okay, the first thing is to understand what are soft skills. Okay, the most important thing is, because very often when I say soft skills, usually students or graduates, they understand communication skills. They think that if they know English, that is enough for soft skills. I speak English, you can see that I'm communicating properly, but this doesn't mean yet that you have seen my communication skills fully. Communication skill is not just English, but even when you speak in Hindi. So this is one. It's just maybe 20% of soft skills. Soft skills is a combination of skills which will help you achieve success, not just using your hard skills, your tech skills. Those could be teamwork, collaboration, simple task of management, creative thinking, problem solving, negotiation, persuasiveness. These are all listed actually skills that you need to have in front of you. First of all, my first tip would be clear up in your mind what are soft skills. And then try to understand in which context you need each skill. For example, you need team building when you're working in a team of 2 and above people. Find a situation like that if you want to improve your team building skill. If you want to improve your creative thinking, find a task, a project, I don't know, an opportunity of work with some kind of employer who is ready to give you freedom in your work. Because if you are a traditional if you're a traditional staff member who just expects the manager to tell what to do, then you can never expect to improve your creative thinking. Be open to problems and solve the problem. Again, if you expect your managers to tell you the solution of the problem, then you will never develop this skill. So in fact, you just need to understand what context you can create for yourself for each skill and dive into it. Don't be afraid of it. Just dive into it, experience it. So through experience, your knowledge will also come.
Okay. One more question, like I want to take. Do you think soft skills should be part of college now? They should focus more on that.
There is no weighing system which is more important and which is not, because in real, if you have wonderful soft skills but you are empty from hard skill point of view, then again you fail. There should be a balance between soft skills and hard skills. This is my opinion. And I do believe it will be really tough to immediately incorporate into Indian education system the soft skills, but I do believe that the government is taking measures right now with the educational reforms. So positive things are yet to come.
Okay. Yeah, right. So agree. You said that yes, soft skill is not only a language, which we generally have that thing in my like in our minds that okay, English. If we think about English, if we are speaking good English, we generally think okay, English is a soft skill. So this is a very general question which happens, and this is not really. If I tell you the truth, in the college they are not being trained about that, and this is like as you said that yes, maybe in the new college courses it might be implemented.
I have noticed that at least there are some colleges which approach me and my team as well for training. So I have noticed that generally colleges and universities, they do approach various companies, startups for this kind of trainings. So if your college hasn't done that yet, go ahead and tell them to approach us because soft skills is really important. There is the trainings going on for interview preparation. And that is again just part of the soft skills. So if your college doesn't really think widely about the soft skills and they just target interview skills, maybe just you could give an anonymous letter to the management that, you know, let's target soft skills as well, not just interview skills. Because it's very interesting. A lot of colleges, they target interview skills because they hope that their students will get hired. But they don't think after hiring, they need to work. And the moment they start to work, they need to show their skills.
Right.
This is the important part. So they need to have the hard skills and the soft skills both, not just interview cracking skills.
Yeah,
So both
I agree.
important.
I can relate this to my experience as well. During my college, like in the final year, although means like I got a very good means like recruitment through TCS, but still before the interview, like the teachers used to say that you have to just answer 5 questions: inheritance and polymorphism difference. Just speak. That's it. So I was, as you said, interview cracking skill. That is something what we are trained in college as of now. And yes, we have to go beyond borders. Understand?
Beyond the borders of the college and the interview. That's correct.
Right. And coming to the question, which will be like really helpful for the interns who are live and they and those who would be watching later. Uh, there are college students in third and the final year who would be looking for the internship opportunities. So how Step Beyond Borders and Edubuild can provide those internship opportunities in future, or if it's in current year, what sort of skills they should be having and how they can excel.
So for Step Beyond Borders, to be honest, our projects are for the foreigners only. So Step Beyond Borders would be for either foreigners coming to India, or if there is any student who is interested to go and to do internship abroad, that would be an opportunity for them. So they could go to stepbeyondborders.org and they could simply send an email to us. So then we could suggest them the countries which are available at this moment, or we could suggest them the virtual option with some other international companies abroad. So Step Beyond Borders is more about beyond the borders.
Beyond the borders. Yeah.
Yes. And the opportunities are wide with STEM Beyond Borders as well as Edubuild. We cover nearly all the fields. So if we have the opportunity of the project with STEM Beyond Borders abroad, then definitely the students can apply, and we share the details of the cost and the project details. So it's usually up to them to take up the project or to take the step of interview and then complete the joining. When it comes to Edubuild, I think maybe Gaurav, if you could just type over there in the chat, I might have a big challenge typing right now.
Okay.
It's Edubuild. It's EDUBILD
Okay.
.com/register.
Okay.
So it's quite easy. It's Edubuild. Edu is education. Build is from German. Build because our CEO studied actually in Germany. Yes. So edubuild.com register. They could go over there and then they could just fill in their information and apply for at this moment available project. And the moment they apply, they will receive specific skill assessment test. So we do encourage those students who are actually looking for serious experience, because this is a big problem in India, which we've noticed that there are a lot of students who are looking for internships just for the certificate to show to their university. We don't need this kind of interns because we're working with serious clients and serious tech companies who actually expect results. Then for results, we need dedication, we need motivation. So those students who actually fill in our skill assessment, complete the skill assessment, we do feel that yes, they are motivated to take a test and to pass the test. So that is why I do encourage those students who are interested to take a serious project to apply. And then definitely if they get selected, we will be contacting them and inviting for an interview.
Okay.
In
So
general, for one position, we get maybe 300 applications, and then we just choose 4 or 5.
yeah. So guys, I have shared the link. You guys can go, and also on LinkedIn, like you can reach directly to Hasmik as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
To me or to Edubuild official, Beyond Borders, feel free to approach.
Okay. So one more question is there. Any good book you can suggest on soft skills?
Good book. As I said, soft skills are not acquired just reading. There are a lot of nice courses nowadays available online. Coursera also had soft skill trainings. I think it was even free of cost for many colleges in India. So if you get that course on Coursera, just join it. But the skills will be theory for you unless you practice them.
Okay. I think most of the questions are coming off soft skill because after listening to you, they are feeling about that. Okay.
That's a big problem because they also realize it's a big problem.
Okay. Okay. So one question is there, being an intern, what matters more in interview, like soft skill or bookish knowledge, and on what basis you make your selection?
Now for Edubuild, we have, in fact, we are in a process of finalizing our platform, which is artificial intelligence based and automation based platform. So when it comes to your tech skills will be checked automatically. So we are not the human beings checking it. So we have developed those skill assessment tests and all the automation processes so that we get shortlisting automated. So we don't need to check your hard skills anymore. So the moment you fill in the test, then we see you either fail or you pass for us. And then the top 5 people or the top 10 people, depending on the number of students that apply for our project, they get the chance of interview. So the moment you crack the skill assessment part, the tech skill part, then definitely during the interview, we are checking soft skills first, understanding your motivation, understanding your experience, and the tech skills are actually checked not just with the core knowledge, but with situational tasks. Like you get a situational task, what would you do in this situation, or what solution you can suggest for this tech problem or not tech problem? Because now I know that both the companies, your company and our company is tech. That's the reason our followers are also asking about the hard skills and soft skills. But this is even for people who are not from technology field. Those could be people from finance field who want to do internship. And so their skills will be checked for finance knowledge, and then they will be getting the specific interview questions for soft skills and situational challenges, situational tasks, so that we can understand how they behave.
Okay. Yeah. I hope it answered your question, Daman Kuntla and Mihika. Like moving to the Armin's like last question, which is related to the upcoming freelancing platforms, which are coming. Like there are so many freelancing platform, which is serving so many industries, different verticals. So what we tried with the Flexi Workie was like it's not like a direct connection between a freelancer and like the client. So here we are the someone who is taking the responsibility, ownership. When we are interacting with the clients, we are understanding those requirements initially, and then we are sharing it with the freelancers and the agency. So it's like we are a doctor, we can say, for a client, where they can share everything about their like budget and all, because every time the client face a difficulty about, if let's say they have a budget of 50,000 INR, and for every freelancers they just feel every time they have to answer all these questions and all. So we are taking all those things with them. So what future you see about these freelancing platform which we have created in which can serve the edtech sector?
What I have felt, because my connection with education and my connection with startup field has given some experience to me. This is what I have felt, that India is actually a wonderful opportunity for aggregation business, startup aggregation business.
Okay.
And aggregation business, when I say, is the business type that you are offering. Aggregation is, for example, Airbnb. Aggregation is Ola. Aggregation is Zomato, where in fact, due to the technological development and the time limit that people get, every individual person, especially people in business, they don't want to spend time in all these little talks, little chats with freelancers. They just want their work to be done.
Right.
And who will do it? They don't care. But there should be someone to guarantee the quality. So with aggregation startup business model, this is a wonderful tool to make sure that there is one aggregator, like your Flexi Work, and for example, Ola, or for example, Uber, Zomato, who guarantees the quality. Okay. Which means that if I, as a business, if I approach you and if I get any problem, I don't need to run behind the freelancer asking for checking my policies, agreeing with my terms and conditions. Instead, I'm just keeping contact with you. And this is a wonderful tool, because generally, I believe this will be the future for many this kind of freelance or non-liable jobs. Okay. Which means if someone is self-employed, they could easily work with a bigger company, with a bigger startup organization, and then they could just comply the norms and standards of the startup, and they could easily earn, because there will be a very unified approach. There will be coordination. So this person doesn't need to go to 100 clients. No, you will manage the clients, and you will also manage with your team the freelancers. So my feeling is that this is a very booming opportunity, and definitely it's a new solution, because as I mentioned at the beginning of my speech, a lot of people like me, we're just tired of checking the quality of freelancers, knowing whether the freelancer is fake or no, which happens a lot. Yeah, so I believe that definitely this could be a wonderful and industry changing opportunity for people who are in IT and who are freelancers.
Okay, thank you so much. And with that, the last question, which like the most of the people shared with me in the morning also, that like what keeps you motivated, like managing both companies, and what is the chief ingredient, if I would say, which can keep a person motivated for as a like a young entrepreneurs or the interns. They feel sometimes like lack of energy while doing things. But managing a company and managing two companies is a different scenario. So like how you keep yourself motivated and what lesson learning you can share with everyone.
The interesting thing is that by my profession, I don't have education as my core. Yes, I am a linguist. I am a specialist of intercultural communication. It somehow relates to Step Beyond Borders, so different cultures. But the connection to education is something which actually was there with me even when I was studying linguistics, not as a teacher, as just a person who is studying the languages. So I do believe that if you want to find um, your agenda in your life, if you want to find your goal in your life, you definitely need to think what you want to do. Today, the youth is generally looking at two different things instead of saying three. They look at what they can do. They think, okay, I am good at math. I can go and become a commerce specialist. Or finance specialist. I am good at English. I will become I don't know, English teacher. So they pay attention to what they are good at. And second, what they pay attention is to the money in the industry. They see how much is the salary of the specific
Right.
industry. However, the third thing that everyone is mostly missing is what I really want. Doesn't matter whether I can or I cannot. What I really want, what is my passion?
Right.
So for me, to be honest, education is my passion. Being with people and interacting with them for the education purposes and seeing the growth of people is passion for me. So my passion turned into a vision to educate people, to give more opportunities to them, career enhancement opportunities. And that is why I believe that the moment your passion becomes the vision, you don't lose the motivation. So you just wake up with this vision and motivation that, okay, today I have something positive to do. There are people who really need me. This sense of being important and needed is something which will automatically motivate you. Be it a tech person, be it a finance person, be it rickshaw driver. I
Mhm.
could even say there are so many rickshaw drivers which make my day happy. And
Mhm.
they should also realize it, that it's their vision, that they
Yeah.
should provide good service.
Right. So last question actually I have received from Simran. How a person having a hard skill but lacking interpersonal skill can deal around?
Uh, I can I can give you the example. It happens a lot.
Mhm.
These kind of people, they get stuck in the ladder of career. They join companies with their hard skills, and because they don't have soft skills, they just do whatever they can do without communicating with others, without showing that they can do more, and without showing that they can even improve. They just do whatever they do, which is very common for coders. There are wonderful coders who, in fact, get a task from the management and complete the task. That's it. It's like tick mark. It's very automatic. They become more like robots. For me, they become more like robots. While even coding can be, in fact, creative to find solutions to such problems which others never thought about. That is creative thinking. And then sharing your vision and your solutions with others. That is interpersonal communication. So imagine a person who is just doing the same job every time as a tick mark. This person can easily get stuck in the ladder of the career.
Mhm.
If a person has the soft skills and also is technologically enhanced, has the hard skills in any industry, hard skills of any domain, then definitely chances of rising in the career are more.
Right. Right. So do you have the time for one more question I have received?
Okay, let's let's go ahead.
Okay. The question from Sayam is, what if someone has to start a tech company in countries with low technical advancement, Bangladesh, Myanmar, right now, what are the things that are to be kept in mind?
Okay, this is a very interesting question. For me to answer to this kind of question about specific countries, I would definitely require research.
Hmm.
And this is the first thing I would advise you. do a very proper research about the edtech industry of that country. And even if you know that edtech industry is not a good one, still do a research about your client's behavior. Behavioral analysis is an important thing. Imagine you want to open a company which is providing very cheap but very good quality of online education. There are so many companies which are doing that in India right now. And you want to do it for a country which in fact has challenges with internet connection, which has challenges with students' access to smartphones, which has challenges with parent acceptance of their children to use smartphones. Or a company wants to open this kind of a startup, but in a country where children are not inclined to online education at all, and they prefer writing on blackboards. You need to definitely understand the behavior of the clients and the needs of the clients before starting an edtech company. But I do believe that, yes, if you take the approach of market push, this is a business term. There is a term of market pull and market push. So when your clients, people, they want something and they create the demand of it, it's more that you are you are pulling the market, right? And you're creating something new and people immediately take it. That is something which is happening in India. But if you're doing your own product, which you don't know whether it will be acceptable for the clients or no, and you decide to push it in the market just to experiment, to push it forcefully, and to see whether it works or no, it could definitely be a boom. For example, smartphones. Smartphones were pushed into industry. It was not demanded by people that, we need to have touch screens. Everyone was okay without touch screens. 10 years ago, I had my Nokia, which was just opening and with buttons. After 5 years, no one cared about it. Not because it was required, but because they pushed it into the market and people accepted it. If you do this kind of a thing, which definitely gives a boom effect, then it's wonderful. But there are also chances of failing, because the reality is that startup industry is a challenging one, and not every startup sustains.
Right. So, Sayam, yes, I agree with the answer. So I hope you also got the answer. So, first of all, thank you so much, Hasmik, for your giving the time and sharing so valuable lesson. Yeah, I will be using some content for me on LinkedIn in future, like push and pull. This is something new for me, and I was creating some content with that. So I will be taking the learning and also the points which you have shared with the EdTech, the live training, with how it is important, how it can be implemented with every use case which you have shared, and especially for the people who want to increase their soft skill and all the scenarios. So I think it's a very great learning we have received. We are so thankful to you to share those lessons with us.
You're mostly welcome. I hope you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, specifically our pages, Step Beyond Borders and Edubuild. You can also search us on LinkedIn. We're available on LinkedIn as well. So we are regularly updating our pages. You can be in touch with us. And if you have any questions, feel free to approach.
Okay, all right. So I would be giving the links of the company pages with them, so that they can directly know about more the product and they can reach out to you through this link. So thanks once again for your time.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day.
Welcome. You too. Have a good evening. Bye bye.
Bye bye, guys.